Okay. Okay, beautiful developer. And this is going to be an amazing development time. So today we too want to know how we fit use deploy our application, any application where you don't build on top Firebase, right? So you build that beautiful app, but you want take advantage or you want host them for Firebase. So now wetin we wan do today. So most see how simple it is, right, to take your NextJS application and put them inside Firebase. So make we get started. Okay, so the very first thing wey you need to do if you want start to dey work with Firebase right from your CLI, right, na for you to first of all do npm I that's npm install -g firebase tools, firebase-tools, right? So you go install this. Now another way na say if you no really know how to go about them, na say okay, if you just come to your terminal and run npm. In fact, I think I copied that thing. Yes, so you just run them here. So you will see npm package of how to install Firebase or get Firebase, right? So if you would run that, make it open. Okay, so you see say no be this one, na the tools. Now wetin that go help you do, you go install all the packages wey Firebase go give you. So make I just come here, do firebase-tools, right? Okay, so now this one, yeah, right? So Firebase tools, which is now wetin I don show now here at the same time. So Firebase 2, but wetin I dey do here now, say I dey install them globally so that I fit use them anytime. If you just run if you no put G, if you no put this -G, this Firebase 2 go just dey reasonable for only this application, right? So meaning if you want host another application, you go dey run this thing every time. But the moment you don't do this -G, you no need to run them multiple times. So I don already install them, right? So I no need to install them again. So that's it. Now the second thing where you need to do, that's one. So the second thing where you need to now to log in, right? So at the moment I'm logged in, right? So make I just do Firebase log out. So now so you go fit use log out from your CLI. So wetin I dey do here now to log out my Firebase account from this CLI. So I dey log am out so that I go log in and everybody go see, or you guys go see how I fit use login. So I don log out from get to developer, right? So make I log in. I fail to mention, before you go fit use Firebase service, you need to get Gmail account, and by default practically everybody get Gmail account, right? So that your Gmail account now you go use here. So to log in, I'll just do Firebase login. So if I do Firebase login, it will spin up. When it spin up, you go ask me whether I want to continue, right? I say yes, of course. Make it allow my browser to sync with my CLI. So then I go choose which of them. Of course, now get to developer now they use, right? Allow allow. Okay, so once we do that, we don't log in, so that is good. Now the next thing we'll need to quickly do for us to come create like a project, right? So come to Firebase. Now first off, I think the first thing I need to do for you guys to get clarity is for you to just come to Google, right? You can do just on Google, you can just do, in fact, let's do that. So on Google, you can just click Firebase. So now this console, right? Now we go so Firebase console. So we go take us to console.firebase.google.com. So this is where we need to be at. Then from here, I'll click on create new project, right? Good. So make I call this project next deploy. So let's just say next deploy. Okay, so whatever name we did here, then go be your deployment name, so your URL at this. So most times I need to like to get all these numbers, and but it's fine, right? So next deploy, so I need to use this to do anything. So after now, of course, delete this stuff. So I don't need all this testing, analytics, and the rest. But if you want, if you on, I'm sure, then I'll just click on create project. So waiting the happen here, it creates the project for us, right? This should take less than 30 seconds, right? Depending on the strength of your internet, anyways. So, but then once you roll finish, and we'll go start. Makes sense? Okay, brilliant, right? So I will just click on that, and when I do, it spin up that environment, right, for us to create. So now we now have the ability to host different services here, or to use different services where Firebase they give to us, right? And for me, waiting the importance now, just so you can host your iOS app, you can host an Android app, and you can host a web app. So now web, now we're interested, and I forget to mention, right, you fit do so make I go back to RAM, right? So you fit do Unity, you fit host your Unity project, which is game, and of course Flutter as well, right? So these are a whole bunch of stuff that Firebase gives to us, and this is amazing. Okay, so I will just call them the same thing where I named that, so deploy, right? And I don't want to click here. Why? Because we won't use our CLI make that deployment, right? So let's just click on register the app. So good. Okay, so it give us all these instructions that we need to install Firebase, blah 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 blah. Okay, so once I do this, that is good. So we now have this next deploy app, right? Okay, now we don't do that. So if I come here and I run my so this is my local project, right? So what we want to do now, to take this our local project and put them up in the cloud, right? So that we can send the URL to our friends, right? Good. Okay, so make we do that now. So we already signed in. So the next thing we're going to do now to say okay, so I will say Firebase. Now if you don't install that Firebase global, right, Firebase tools, right, you'll get access to write Firebase CLI command inside your terminal. So that's why now I write Firebase and you go understand. So I'll do Firebase init. And typically now hosting now I want to, so depending on which of the services I want to use, so I initialize the environment for that particular service. But if this is not your first time, it makes sense for me to do them like this. So make I just use this Firebase init. So if I hit enter, if I hit just Firebase init, then it will show me list of services with Firebase give me, right? Then I'll pick the service where I want. Of course I will say yes, right? I want to use that. So these are the list of services where Firebase they give me, right? So from here, real-time database, Firestore, the function, Firebase function, and many more. So make I just scroll down. Now hosting via GitHub Action, which is this one, storage, emulator, and the rest, right? But the one way I want now is hosting, right? So if I hit spacebar, right, so as to select them, then hit enter, then it will ask me a series of questions. Now to avoid that process, we'll just do now. So let me just do Ctrl+C to terminate now. So to avoid that process, so we fit say, okay, so I fit say hosting, right? So it just knows say now hosting in the go straight up, right, rather than me choosing which of the services I want to go to. Yeah, so that's it. So so I do yes again. This is a straight up, it don't take me come here because I don't understand how hosting now I want to. So I want to use existing project or create a new project. Remember, so we already create one project before, right, which we call next deploy. So I go hit enter, then it will give me a list of the projects we had already create, right? So that I fit pick from them. So okay, read, assess that, and show me. Okay, so something went wrong. I guess it's my network. Let me check to be sure that my network is still going. Okay, so now waiting we go do now say okay, make we try to we'll try this whole thing again. Yeah, so let's try it out again. Okay, so let's do that again. I guess the network is good now. So let me see. Okay, so it's fine, right? Okay, so yes, and it choose existing, right? So it loads it, and this is the most recent one we just deploy, which is next deploy, right? Okay, we just created. So I hit on enter. So it's going to ask me what directory should it be working from, right? So I'm going to say the out, right? At the moment we no get them here, right? But we'll eventually create them out, right? So I hit on enter. Yes, no. Okay, good. So this out directory don't they created here, but nothing really the inside will make sense, right? So before we go to the next stage, the next thing we are going to need to do now to come down to my package.json. So inside my package.json, this build here, so I'll come inside there, add another command, and that one will be okay, so that will be next export. But okay, let me do it here. So for older version, this would work. So next export. So for older version of next, right, that should work. So if I do npm run build, right, so give them a while for them to load up and do its thing in order to generate the build file, right? So like I explained before, for older version of next, right, this go work, but for newer version it might and might not. In fact, there's better chances that it won't. Exactly, so better chances that it won't. And the reason for that now say so no be here we suppose put that export, right? So that be the key reason. So to fix that problem, what we need to do now to come to this our next configuration. So inside this our next configuration, what we will write there will be export map to output, right? So map to output, save that. But before any other thing, make I come here, remove this, right? Then make we run this again. So if we run this again, we will patiently wait, right, for them to just build your file again and export them. So when you export, you will create some files inside here, and that's what we will be working with. Yes. Oops. So I see some crash. Let me see. Okay, output is not defined. Okay, so maybe I suppose that the reverse. So output export, so save. Oops. So let me understand what's happening. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so what we need to do now, say so I will say output, right, just like this, save this, right, and let's view this again, and if we run them, okay, so we'll patiently wait for them to just do its thing, right? So what it's trying, waiting they try do now, say they take all these file, put them into a static, right, generate the static content of all of them, then put them inside this our output, right? And that is what we want. Yeah, so this, like I explained, might take you a while, right? But we just need to be patient with that, and once that is generated, then voila, everything will be good to go. So this is how simple or how easy it is, right, to so it has started working. So this is how easy it is, right, to build or get up your next project working. Okay, yeah, so brilliant. That is it. Just in a moment, everything will be fine in a moment. Okay, so in a moment everything will be good. So let me just close here, and yeah, so that is it, right? So it has created those. So if I open here now, you will see a lot of content good here now. Hula, right? So these are the contents, right? So now here Firebase go to read from, right? So if I come here now to so now I'll come to the last, which is Firebase deploy. It's this one don't take too much of time, right? So you can just go run the whole thing, install everything inside, and create a pointer to this path through Firebase, and everything would be good. Yes, that's it. Super simple. So if I come here now and hit this endpoint open, and if we come here, my friends, we've just deployed our next application, right? Now make we do some things like, so this so make I change something. Okay, for here I just put get to dev there. So if I come to our app and I come to page and make I find, okay, so this place here, so let's say get started with get to dev, so something like that. So get started with get to dev. So save this. Now the first thing, remember, because I won't go through this again, so you follow the step. First thing first is inside here would already put this, so that's the first thing you need to do. Then the second thing you need to do is to come here and say npm run, oops, sorry, so not npm run dev, rather npm run build. Remember saying, because this is a static stuff, right, so it ought to build that changes and put them inside this out there. Okay, so let's be patient with that, right? Then the next thing what we'll do now, say I don't need to run npm init straight up, right? So I can deploy straight up. Why? Because we already get these our Firebase JSON here, right? We already get them there, so everything should be fast. So why this is going on, so make I write the command we will just let you deploy in one line, right? So make I wait. Okay, good. So the command will be Firebase deploy Firebase deploy dash only hosting, right? So what are they do here? Are they combine several commands together, right? So this one will just deploy straight up, right? So I don't need to do that init and prepare the environment, you know, those things, right? You don't need them. Again, why? Because you don't do them before. So now this thing don't work, right? So now I feel hit on enter. So Firebase deploy dash only hosting. Okay, good. Okay, brilliant. So now it's deploying. Okay, brilliant. And puller completed, right? So if we come here, refresh puller, so you can see get to dev here. So that's good, right? So anytime you make any changes here, and that's the pain in static, right? So anytime you make any changes here, you come here, make run that's your deploy again, and that is it, right? So in our next video, we're going to see how would be trusting on GitHub. So anytime we make push to GitHub, right, it will automatically deploy, right? So I believe you will like that, right? So we did start that one immediately, right? So see you guys in that class. Yeah, as well.